Уважаемо жури, уважаеми зрители, здравейте в първия финал на първия сезон на PARA Robotics Incubator. В края на февруари месец тази година стартирахме с 11 екипа, които се включиха в първият сезон. Останаха 9. От тях ще имате възможност да ги чуете днес. Много благодарим на Америка за България, Schneider Electric, FANUC, FESTO, Българска банка за развитие, на целият екип, който се включи от Vangavis, на нашите партньори София Тех Парк и Иновативна София, Резонатор, АББ, Милара, Сивико, всички, които ни подкрепиха по пътя за първият инкубатор по роботика. В рамките на 5 минути ще чуете всяка една презентация на проектите. Те ще се презентират на английски и съответно ще имат още 3 минути за въпроси и отговори от ваша страна. Давам думата първо на Александър с неговия проект Edwin. Алекс, welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Alexander and this is my project Edwin, your new friend at home. So the history of Edwin, it all starts at the end of 2020 when I have to think about the final project from one of my school's courses. It was the right moment to realize my dream to create a virtual assistant inspired by Iron Man Jarvis. A few months later, Edwin was a fact. What is Edwin? Our daily lives are busy enough with work, school, or household chores. We need an assistant to make our daily life easier. So, what is Edwin? Edwin is a virtual assistant completely on Bulgarian language. It takes comment from Bulgarian and gives you comment on Bulgarian language. Edwin can tell you the weather in location questioned by your site, can tell you the temperature in your room, can tell you when the sunrise or sunset is in your asked location, can search information in Google or Wikipedia, can play music from YouTube, can tell you the latest news and a lot of other things. Who uses virtual assistants? As you can see, this is a chart from 2021. This is a statistic about what age gap uses virtual assistants. As you can see, from 18 to 65 plus age, you use virtual assistants in their life. How people use virtual assistants? For example, a small child, we want to play some music or check the weather forecast to go play outside. A businessman will check the Google Calendar or to-do list or the latest news. And the grandpa with the child, we want to chew the children or hear some jokes. This is the timeline progress. The idea of Edwin was born in 2020 December. To 2021 January, I have the main functions like speaking, text-to-speech, and some basic dialogues. And today, I have natural language processing entirely working on Bulgarian, and weather forecast, checking the user context of the sentence. Technologies are used for Edwin. First of all, I use Python programming language. I use Google speech recognition model to recognize Bulgarian language from user input, and latest Google text-to-speech model. And I also used a natural language processing model from Stanza. Goals after the event. I want to expand the team. I want to integrate a better voice for Edwin, because for now it's robotic. I want to integrate IoT smart home system to turn on or off the lights or open or close the garage door. And I want to integrate a custom user feedback program for improvements. Like if you want a custom program to tell you how to cook a cake, for example, or read a story for your little child. By expanding the team, I mean I'm the only one who makes aiming for now. It's time for them. It's loading.
Is everything okay?
Yes, for now. It's just loading very slow, I don't know why.
Okay.
Кажи ми прогнозата за София.
Температурата в София е 17 градуса и се чувства като 15 градуса.
А в колко е залезът?
Залезът е към 19 часа и 29 минути.
Какво е изкуствен интелект?
Изкуственият интелект и на английски Artificial Intelligence AI е интелектът, демонстриран от компютри, за разлика от естествения интелект, демонстриран от животни и хора. Това е науката за концепциите, които правят възможно компютрите да извършват задачи, които могат да бъдат разглеждани като интелигентни.
Thank you, Alexander.
Thank you.
You have already 6 minutes and something.
Okay, sorry about that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dear jury, you have 3 minutes for questions.
I have one question. You mentioned that the next step is smart home system.
Yes.
What exactly you mean with this? I mean, you are planning to integrate it to Alexa, or
I'm planning to integrate it with smart lights.
okay, and you will do the similar functions like Alexa, for example, that you
Yes,
can control
yes.
the smart lights. Okay.
Yes.
Another question, because everything is in Bulgarian and the name is not Bulgarian, can it be changed?
For now, I like the name Edwin. I chose it not to be Bulgarian because it will be very strange if I asked my virtual assistant called Ivan, for example, or Georgi, for example.
My question is, who is the model behind the voice? How you choose the voice?
The choice, the voice is from Google text-to-speech, latest Google text-to-speech, which they use for Google Translate.
Who do you see your first users will be?
Maybe an adult couple that wants to chill their children with stories, and they will be like, Edwin, прочети ми приказка, and then you will respond with that.
Very short questions. One of your other goal is to expand the team.
Yes.
How are you going to motivate your future partners with business success or something that you're going to innovate or break some barrier in your skills or knowledge?
That will make something unique in Bulgarian, because right now no one can create something like this. For example, Alexa, Siri, Bixby or Cortana, they don't have Bulgarian language, and we will innovate something new, something unique, something cool. So yeah.
It's a question about the name. Then again, it's a question about the name. I'm pretty fond of having something which is more flexible as a name, but it's your choice, of course.
Yes.
And final, maybe do we have time for questions? The question you mentioned, Siri, Alexa, and so on.
Yes.
What if tomorrow they make Alexa in Bulgarian? Do you have a plan how to counterattack Amazon, or?
Maybe I will make something that is more Bulgarian than their virtual assistants. For example, I will make sure that all the news are Bulgarian. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon.
Let's switch to presentations.
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
This is the one shot.
Of course. Thank you.
Is this working? Okay.
It's working? Can you help?
Maybe.
Okay.
Okay. Go. Okay, again, hello and good afternoon. My name is Rosen Kolev, and I'm CEO and co-founder of RoboWeeder, the smart weed removal robot. And that's what we're going to present you today. Well, basically, our goal is to attack one of the oldest problems of agriculture, getting rid of weeds. Nowadays, the most common solution is herbicides. What is the problem with them? Basically, it's poisons. It's harmful chemicals that seep into our land, water, into our food, and in the end, into our own bodies. There are, of course, alternatives to herbicides. You can till the land with machines, you can use manual weed removal, but there are problems with these too. It adds to pollution, it's not very effective, weeds regrow. Manual weed removal is labor-intensive, it's basically back-breaking work, it's costly, it's unreliable, it's also not very reliable overall. Our solution is RoboWeeder. It's a smart weed removal robot. It's a lightweighted solar-powered rover. It uses various weed removal tools for removing the weeds depending on their size, type, and soil conditions. A core feature is the AI-powered image recognition algorithm, which we use to spot weeds among desired plants via neural networks. RoboWeeder consists of several key systems, which we integrate into one working solution. You can see it outside, but here I made you a small schema. So basically you have on top the solar panels, which collect the sun energy for working during the day, and also combined with the energy pack, it has a potential to run during the night as well for 24-hour working cycle. We have the propulsion system. It's electric wheels with inbuilt engines. We have a downward looking camera, which is collecting the pictures which feed the neural network for spotting the weeds. We have a forward looking camera, which is for orientation in the rows of plants, and also orientation within the field and around it. We have the weeding mechanism as well. It's basically one mechanism which we can fit different applications in it. And you have the CPU, the NVIDIA, which is the brain of the whole system. It also houses the neural network. RoboWeeder is a game changer, really. That's our strongest message against the current methods for weeding, and also it's more functional versus many of the competitors that are also startups. We have various really strong competitive advantages. You can see most of them listed here, and it's also a function of our really clear targeting for the market. So our initial target market, to start with, is about 20,000 small and medium farmers in EU only, but the potential is huge for expansion. There are 170 million farms in the world above 2 hectares. This is above subsistence farming. They all need help with weeding. Even in Europe, there are 3 million such farms. Even if we take just 5% in the midterm realistic potential of capturing that, that's already 150,000. Now, our core market, the initial one, it's herbal and aromatic plants organic producers. Now, why did we choose them? They have some of the most acute need for affordable weed control. They're actually a quite neglected group because they're a niche group, but they are very high potential. They have some of the highest revenue per acre, per hectare in the industry. So they have the disposable income if they want to spend it. And we have clear competitive advantage with them. Our offer is really targeted to them. And next area of focus, of course, will be vegetable farmers, flower growers, and we hope international expansion in due time. Our business model would be hardware as a service, so it's a rent-to-service model. It has certain benefits which will allow us to really move fast and to really build on it afterwards. And then, of course, we're going to move into unit sales, either direct sales to customers or via distributors. And of course, I have to say that we also plan to expand our data services, adding different sensors, etc., for collecting data on soil, on air, on water, etc., from the field. Now, our immediate plans are for 2 more prototypes next to the one which you can see over there, to be developed this winter and then put to work next spring. So this should be fully water and dust resistant for unattended field work. We're going to collect data and also customer feedback via them to improve different systems in the robot for weed targeting, for image recognition, etc. There is already very strong interest from farmers in our target market, essential producers in Bulgaria. We're already talking to several of them, and we're going to start with 2 cultures. One is the lavender, the other one is white oregano. That's what we're going to work on next spring. And of course, we hope to convert those early adopters by end of next working agricultural season into our first paying customers for the year after. A few words of gratitude to PARA. Of course, we have to mention, this is where we started. That was our first version in February, March this year, and this is where we ended today. You can see the result just outside. We received financial support, immense technological advice, you can see in many different areas. And actually, thanks to the development we managed to have during the PARA Incubator, we also enrolled in another program, which is a 12-week, very intensive program. It's called Found the University, which is created by Super Angel Jason Kalakanis. This is our team. We're a small team, but we have complementary backgrounds and well-targeted competencies. Thank you for
questions?
What are your next steps? Where do you want to take this?
Well, next steps is we continue developing as of the immediate future. We're also looking for financing, naturally, because we want to invest. We want to invest in the technological development. We want to invest in the neural networks, in the artificial intelligence. That's really a core feature of our system. And we want to invest in developing the market potential, basically getting more contact with potential customers in Bulgaria, but also outside. And of course, to have more exposure, attending different events, etc., in Europe particularly. That's our next focus for the year coming next September, let's say. Yes.
Couple of questions. First, the RoboWeeder is fully autonomous,
Yes.
which means you just bring them on the
Yes.
field, play it, and it starts working.
That is the plan, indeed.
Okay, so how much time does it need to cover 1 hectare, for example?
Yes, so our initial targets are to cover 5 acres, so that's half a hectare a day. That's the minimum that we get, and given that in that particular target market, with our weed removal tools, we assess that 3 weeks would be completely realistic minimum time, so that's about 20 working days, about 100 acres, so 10 hectares can be covered by 1 robot per season, which we think for early adopters would be quite good. And that's still why we plan this rent as a service, not full sales, because we want to prove the concept.
And what is your timeline? When do you envisage to start field testing, because it needs to be proven
The field testing, we're actually going to test this one right now for certain applications, but as long as the moment we have the fully water and dust resistant models completed this winter, next February most probably, beginning of March, we're going to test in the fields probably with lavender to start.
And by the way, congratulations on the prototype.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Rosen. Why do you think your team is unique?
I think we really collected a team which has very different competencies, but they're really mutually complementary. So me, myself, for example, okay, I started the whole idea. By the way, I'm a hobbyist slash getting more professional organic essential oils agricultural farmer. I started this a few years ago, and that's where the idea came. Me, myself, I'm a background as a strategy consultant, so I think I have pretty good understanding of how markets work in general. That's my job basically on a daily basis. We have a couple of engineers, software and mechanical, so we have covered that. The fourth team member is actually expert in finance, exactly helping us to look for finance, financial, better. So basically I think in that team, plus actually some of us are former colleagues, classmates, etc., we have really very good working environment, so I think the result can already be seen, and it's already a proof that it's a working team. And we're planning to expand it, of course, with additional specific profiles. That's also on the plan.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
May I have
Thank you very much.
Suggestion only? Yeah. Quick one. Because you're presenting as a business case, which is really, really nice, but I may suggest you also to start with the technical data, because I'm not very familiar how you're gonna do it. And then the question about the efficiency, those things must be presented if you're building the business case. So just suggestion from my side.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Alexandra Mleska, and I'm going to present you the project EU HiRobot 2021. I'm a student, I'm 17 years old, and the project is under the motto Hydrogen Energy in Action. You can scan the code to get the full access to the file I have prepared. So, what are the problems I'm going to solve? The first one, as you can see on the news, pollution is a very, very serious problem. There are more than 9 million deaths per year only for air pollution. So I have prepared the project to recognize this problem and to solve it. So we have air pollution and renewable resources of energy, of course, that are used in EU HiRobot actually. We have the educational aspect because it is a very sensitive area about speaking in schools and other companies that can use the energy, and the financial aspect because EU HiRobot is going to be very cheap, and you're going to see it in the next slides. And the integrations of robotics, as you can see, EU HiRobot is a very sympathetic robot. So, how the inspiration became? We can start from the technology and ecology, and as you can see, technology and ecology were one of the problems. But it is my inspiration because I'm a problem solver. So we have opportunities for development that are very, very rich. And for example, multifunctionality that we have in EU HiRobot and personalization. As you can see, the robot is only a prototype, so we can personalize it in a lot of spheres in the work. So we have the budget, of course, in personalization and technological and economical aspects we are going to use for EU HiRobot 2. it is very easy for perception. As you can see, a lot of children, and actually when we were in the hallway, a lot of children came to see the robot, and it was very interesting, and we can easily integrate it in our daily life. And hydrogen economy. It is the main point I'm going to use in the presentation and the process of decarbonization. So, what actually is EU Hydrobot 2021 Hydrogen Energy in Action? It is a robot that uses renewable resources. It has been through some steps. The first one step was a lithium-ion accumulator, then it became a hybrid combination of lithium-ion battery and a solar panel that is autonomous up to 12 hours. And I'm going to use a hydrogen cell to the last stage. So, what are the advantages? As you can see, we have one-time investment because we use durable materials and high-quality electronics. The second advantage is facilitate the use of hydrogen and very easy use, and the update in the process of decarbonization in the fossil fuels. And the third advantage is the stability in the use of solar power. As you know, there are a lot of uses. It is flexible, proven, and safe use, and it is very proven in the time actually, even in autonomous cars. And we have flexible use of the robot and high level of safety. And maybe the most interesting part for some of us is the budget. What is the budget? It can be up to 1,440 Bulgarian levs, but it can be only 900 if we use it in the industry. And as I have said, high results, low cost. And let's see the traction. I have joined the PARA Robotics Incubator after May 2021 when I started to develop the project. Then I have researched the business opportunities with my mentor Yonko. Then we have the functionality development, and I have write 5 scientific papers about the robot. Then I had a partnership offer of a leading company in the sphere of energetics, and this is my plan for future development of the technological supplements, and to choose an industry for the robot. Thank you for the attention, and these are my contacts. Any questions?
Can you give us a specific use case for the robot? So what can it actually do?
It can be used in the social sphere. So if we have an exhibition like this, it can welcome the guests and show them the opportunities that the exhibition has. And we can use in the health industry too, for children with psychological needs, and of course in the scientific field about the hydrogen economy.
You mentioned you have a partnership offer. Do you have interest from clients, first clients, or?
Actually, there is, but I'm looking for the scientific phase of EU Hydrobot 2021 because it is a more important part for me, because I want to develop it scientific and I want to have a role in the scientific development of Bulgaria.
Congratulations. And one question about the name. What does the AU part entail?
It is my name because it is the third.
I kept wondering.
It is the third project I have developed, and actually it is my final project that I have developed in my secondary education, and this is part of the past future bike and the Starseeker 1 project. So you can research them or ask them when you get to my stand and see the robot and its functions.
Okay, thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Okay, so for the next 5 minutes or so, we're going to talk about the future of vertical farms and our project Vangavis. So the content that we'll see today is problems and the solutions, current business, our idea about the project, and the team, of course. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about the problems. So I think they are very obvious because everybody is talking about them in the news, in the newspapers, on social media and everything. So the population, yeah, you know, the population is growing, a lot of people, they need a lot of food, so a big problem. The climate change, all of these cataclysms that are happening lately, the global warming and everything, this is a big problem about the plant agriculture crops, because you have to be very, very current on the time, when to plant things, when to harvest them. And for example, the cataclysms with the snowball falls, like the hail rains, this is a big problem for the summer crops, because if one big hailstorm happens, you lose all of the crops for this season, and you have to wait until the next season. The habitat, well, this is a problem because there is a massive urbanization happening lately, and a lot of the people are moving to the bigger cities to work there, and so all of the crops, they're like far from the city, and you have to like transport the food to a certain station, pack it, and then transport it again to the city. The innovation, well, the agricultural practices haven't changed a lot in the late years, because you used to have manual work done by the people, now it's done by the machines, but it's like very much the same, and the only innovation is about the pest control and the chemicals that they're using, but like in the late years, we're seeing a little bit of agricultural robots happening around even the region and in Europe. So there is like a little bit of innovation, but not enough. And the sector, of course, well, it has to adapt to the fast pace of developing technology. As I said, we need to automate it more. And now the solutions that we thought about is controlled agriculture and construction of standard greenhouses and vertical farms. My colleague that is not here today, but was working with me on the project, he's working with light installations in vertical farms. If he was here, he could like tell you more. And integrate robotic solutions in the farm automation. So the current business, as I said, that we're striving to and we're targeting with our solution is vertical farms with the rack systems, with the crops that are like in big wide valleys, and also this type of farms that have multiple racks with the small space to go between them. Because these kind of vertical farms, you need a lot of space for them, and if you automate, okay, so I'm going to skip forward because of the time. So our idea was to implement a multifunctional agro-robot, and we failed a couple of times because we needed to pick berries. We skipped the season, or like we missed the season for the strawberries. We tried, I'm going to skip a little bit about that. We tried with the Raspberry Pi to see the raspberries. Then we tried with the Cognex camera, and now, whoop, can I get to the video only? Video, please. Yeah. So our solution was about the robot, to have a robot that is seeing where the strawberries are in the farm, to locate them, And after that, to make the robot to pick the raspberries. As you see the strawberries. You see these are frozen strawberries, and you can see over there that the camera is locating where the strawberries are and giving our coordinates about the strawberries. And after that, our next step about the project is to make the robot move and pick the strawberries. Yeah.
Thank you. Questions?
Yes. Thank you.
During these 6 months, the main thing what you did is about recognition of the object of the fruits?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
and your next step is to develop a robot or to get a robot from somewhere else and to program it, let's say, or let's say configure it to use it.
We want to get a robot from somewhere else and configure it with the camera. It was in the presentation, but yeah, we didn't have time.
Okay.
Okay.
Question from the representative robot producer.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about, in the end of the day, we're talking about the business case, what productivity you're targeting, because it's too picky, too many movements, and the robots could be quite small, quite slow in this case. So what productivity you're targeting for in order to attract investors and to move the project to real life. The idea is good, really good, but how you're thinking to develop further your project?
In productivity, are you asking about like quantity or like the time or?
It's a number of peaks and time.
Well, the camera that you are seeing right here in the previous video, you could get a very fast image, but to pick the berry with, for example, Mitsubishi robot that is in the lab in the university, maybe you will need about like 20 seconds from like the home position to the strawberry.
One more question.
Yeah.
What is your concept, or actually probably technology, if you have it already, for picking the right fruit, let's say? You told us about how to find it, how to recognize it, and how to...
So,
how you're going to pick the right fruit, let's say the one that is ripe?
The one video that I showed you previously, we were targeting a specific color of the strawberry, and we were tracking that color. And we are training also, like if there is a berry that is not that ripe, it is like not that pink or not that red, it is left alone on the side.
So you have thought about it?
Yeah, it is all about color training the camera.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Rally.
Thank you, Jim.
Супер, браво.
Сега пък ще виждаме.
So hello, we are BioArm, Freedom of Movement, and we are young, ambitious, and motivated students. And our client is
incomplete, different, unhappy clients.
The solution of problem is prosthetics, but where, what, how much, and why. This is a demo. I want to switch the screen and
Нека да пуснем другото видео.
Да.
We have another video which is much better.
For demo, in the moment we can see this robo hand. We have 3D model. For this, my colleague can spell more
We
words
printed
for
it with
this.
POA, and it's an open source project.
Sorry, the demo just started.
So
Okay.
here you can see a simple hand-controlled prosthesis using the muscle of the hand. We are using a single EMG sensor at the moment to control the whole hand, just for the demo. If we want to control every single finger simultaneously or separate, we need several sensors or a bracelet which is made of many sensors which are calibrated specifically for the fingers.
So how it works? We have 5 stages in this project. In first stage we have sensor and movements. They are contacting with the microcontroller. Where we have process data storage. And stage 4 is calculation the data, and at the end of the circle is moment and
the movement process, yes.
Timeline of the idea was started 4 years ago. In PARA Incubator have 2 ideas. We started with pneumatic hand, but now we present bio-arm with servo motors. Direction of award, we will acquiring new skills and knowledge for creating startup bio-arm.
And we plan to create a new 3D model entirely of ours, not using an open source project. And then we will start experiments with our first clients. Our target market is Bulgaria at the moment, and we will communicate with our clients via our partners or directly online. Our clients are people in need, hospitals, and of course the partners that will supply us with the items we need. Our goals are by ARM to be lightweight, customizable, and preferred for its affordability. Our advantages are that we have an easy installation, we have a low price, and we are nearby. We are situated in Bulgaria, and our dealers are situated in Bulgaria also. Our target group is private medical facilities, and we offer training and on-site installation. Our payment model is, you can see, we have bank transfers and direct work. In terms of price, we are affordable compared to the other companies which offer hands and other prostheses. The amputation trends have been growing in the several years, as you can see. Our competitors are companies with professional experience, but they have a high price. They are abroad, and of course they speak another language, which is difficult. And this is the team. We are only 3. You can get in touch with us via our website or our Instagram.
So, any questions?
Yeah, I have 1 or 2 questions. What is the weight of the device?
The weight, it's around 600 grams at the moment with the servos.
At least with the final one, or you will go down?
It will probably go down.
Okay. And your next step is to creating a new 3D printer and to
Our next step is
3D models and
Yes, it's to create a new 3D model and also optimize the servos. These are way too big and uncomfortable. And also the control of the fingers. We will refine that. We will go back to our previous idea of pneumatic muscles, but we will use electricity this time.
Okay.
And of course, we want to make our electronics
way better and faster.
And last question, sorry. Your price is really very good about the price comparable with the others. Why? What is the difference?
The difference is the cheap 3D material, and also that we don't make as much profit as the other companies. Also, we have used servos. I mean, for this model, it's way cheaper, and it's strong as the other ones. I mean, strong as the other ones, which are near our price.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Do you have an idea about how many people with a missing arm there is in Bulgaria in your target market?
In 6 months, I found 20, 30 in this number. So we have people with
in need. We have found 20 people in need without sourcing too much, without going public much. So if we go public, we will get more attention for sure.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, we're here to tell you about the project that we developed in the last 6 months. It's called Service Graph. So, what is Service Graph? Risk Graph is an automated operational risk assessment solution which helps predict and manage the risk posed by bill of materials of hardware projects. Our projects offers forecasts and analysis on different electronic components, prices, and inventory availability.
Well, the thing is, supply chain disruptions are a big deal. We saw this when COVID hit, and the component markets are very risky. They are affected by lots of factors, and it's very hard to keep track of them manually. So large enterprises hire huge departments especially dedicated to risk assessment. Unfortunately, smaller ones cannot afford that, which is why we offer to automate this process. The basic innovation involves performing analysis of different markets and forecasting how they might change in the future, and we notify our users in case of abrupt changes. We perform sentiment analysis on different articles, which help us a lot in determining how things may change, and we provide the ease of planning to our businesses.
Here's the demo of our project.
Yeah. So our demo is a recording, and essentially I'm the owner and administrator of this organization called Risky Robotics, and I can also add him. He has access, well, he still doesn't, but I can give him access to this organization, and he will also receive emails whenever events happen. And then the way we organize things is by projects. So let's say we are working on 3 different robots. We can list them out, and we can have as many projects as we wish. And in a bit, each of these projects consists of several different components. electronic components, and this is the list of the ones we support. So let's add several. I'm just going to add 3 of them, and you can also search by part number in case that proves to be helpful. And this particular component right here, we can actually see more data about it if we click the more link. Basically, we have information of when it was last updated, and if it happens to be too far in the past, we can always request us to reanalyze that. And we can also see the entire history of prices and inventory level over time. As well as in yellow, we see how these things are forecast to change in the next 6 days, which help us make reasonable decisions. And in case something changes drastically, we can also receive emails, and perhaps this may help us whenever we aren't able to predict some huge changes. So let's talk about our competition.
Yes.
It's the next slide.
So I'm going to talk a bit about our competition and how we're different from it. There are a lot of applications and web platforms for supply chain management and risk analysis about the supply chain, but there are really a few that focus individually on electronic parts analytics and also the risk imposed by them, mainly because most of those supply chain management platforms are used by many different companies and don't entirely focus on the electronic market. So I'm going to talk about a bit about our evolution. First, we came to PARA Incubator in February. We signed up with a very wide idea, and over the months that we were in this incubator, we changed the idea to incorporate it into a much more smaller market so that it can really fit the incubator's mission and be more easily achievable. Now I'm going to talk about our progress. So there was really a lot of working in the past 6 months, and we achieved a lot of our goals. So these are some of the things that we achieved. Most notable of them are the improvement of our algorithm for predicting and forecasting the electronic parts price and availability, which we done by incorporating several layers. Now we're going to talk about future plans.
Well, first of all, we'd love to improve our forecast algorithms. We really need this product to be useful before we can actually turn it into a product, which will open the door for perhaps more partnerships of different providers of training data and different details that will be helpful, and then we can market it. But that's essentially our presentation. A bit about us. We're both 10th grade students. I'm Bujidar, he's Kalyan, and we study in Technological School Electronic Systems here in Sofia. And thank you very much for your time.
Here is our wait list.
Thank you.
I have one question. From where you are getting the data?
Currently we're scraping the data from publicly available sources, and we plan on actually using some of some APIs that give us access to real-time data about the electronic components market.
Okay, this from the price and from the inventory again?
Nexer. It's actually the company that's behind Occupied, which is part of what inspired our project to be what it is now.
Okay. Okay.
Why are you forecasting the price change only for 6 days?
Because currently we have a decision to make. It's between compromising between accuracy of forecasting and really the time span that we forecast. So we thought that forecasting for a week in our prototype would be a good point between the two, so that we can really deliver something that's accurate and believable.
However, for a reliable use case, what time do you need to be able to forecast, and with what accuracy?
Well, it really depends on the hardware project that you're manufacturing as a company that uses our service, but it really, what our plan is to deliver at least of 1 month of forecast in advance, so that it can be really useful in a lot of cases, not just one particular for 1 week.
Last question, how you get this idea? I'm interested really, because you're from the schools. I mean, you have this kind of problems in all companies, I think. I'm interested how you get this idea.
Well, it really was a mix between needing to develop a project for a class of economics, let's just call it economics, And video essay I saw about the stock market and the trading algorithms that are employed by the firms that trade stocks. So it's actually applied quantitative trading in another industry, so for predicting power prices, not just stock prices.
Okay, very good to hear. Good.
Thank you, guys.
So,
sorry, one last question, I'm sorry.
so what are your next steps? What are you focusing on?
Our next steps is to turn this project from a prototype into actually usable service and eventually a business.
Our product is in its early beta and it is getting released in a couple of weeks. We have a waiting list with several people and we can only grow from here. That's our goal.
And final question for me. Tell me a little bit more about how did you work together as a team?
Well, generally I focused on the website and the user experience. I also helped collect a large chunk of the data. Meanwhile, he did all the brainstorming for our forecasting algorithms. He also collected some of the news articles and analyzed them. Basically, he was the mastermind behind the artificial intelligence. I was the one who created the user experience.
We split our work in parts and we assigned it to what we do best. So.
That's right, yeah.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Sorry, I promise, one last question, I promise.
The project is very interesting. Is there any particular reason you're just tracking the electronic supply chain? Can you actually transform these algorithms to some other, let's say, supply chains of other
Well, our
industries?
first original idea was very broad in its concept and it stretched all three aspects that we showed in our presentation about the competition, but we chose to focus in the electronic components market mainly because we talked to people that are part of companies that produce electronics, and it really struck to us that there isn't really reliable service to do this, so they must do their own, they must do this on their own and really have professional teams to do this, which is impossible for small and medium companies.
Thank you. This is a final thank you, guys.
Thanks again.
Good job.
Thank you.
The podium, maybe? Hello everyone, thanks for giving me the opportunity to present the idea I have developed while being in PARA Incubator the past half a year. I'm the founder of the Aerospace, and today we're presenting you a product which we named it Salvatore. It's a drone that will save lives, human lives, in the mountain. Why Salvatore? Because from Latin, meaning Salvator, means savior. And this is a drone for you, Salvatore for you. The problems we have been faced with that we are tackling with this drone is the high cost of exploiting a real-life man-piloted helicopter. We all know how expensive it is to have a helicopter, and even a pilot on its own is a major expense. The unpredictable weather conditions in the mountain can sometimes present challenges for the rescue teams, and visually and physically they cannot get always to the places they want to get to. And finally, a lack of rapid emergency response. This is where a person could die if you don't get fast enough to them. And with this drone, Salvatore, we are currently solving these problems. Easy to control with our controller, which I'm about to show you. Payload, bring it here. Sorry for that. Our controller has the ability to have a 20-kilometer long range. We have the latest system available on the market integrated in this drone. It's very easy to control. As you see, you have all the tablet and all the data over here, which allows the rescue team to have a better control in the air and while saving human lives. So, where are we now? Currently, we have our second prototype that we have built during the PARA Incubator, where we have developed the idea of having the drone for rescue missions. Before going to PARA, I didn't really know what we wanted to do, but right now, I know, and I specifically know what I want to achieve with this drone. Optimizing the interior and exterior, that's what has been happening. We have collaborated, and they have helped me in this incubator to experiment with different materials, 3D printing, for example. And so currently we're testing a new battery, which is a more innovative solution to what is currently provided on the market for such drones. And the battery is currently not here, but is still in progress. And of course, PARA has helped me financially to create this new battery that we will have all the information and data from the battery going to your phone directly. What's next? Well, we want to improve and weatherproof the construction of the drone, improve the flight time with our new innovative battery. We know this will happen, but we are yet to test it. And of course, the weather resistance, as I said, is a major thing, because in the weathers we want to exploit this drone. It's going to be very challenging to create, but we are in the process of doing it. Our customers are rescue teams, mountain hospitality sector in general, from ski slopes, and mountain adventurers to early tech adapters can adapt our drone to their operations. So our customers are buying the drone, which will be sold as a product, where from our website they can choose what sort of thing they want, integrated in their drone for their rescue missions they want to exploit. Everything is tested and built in-house here in Bulgaria. Just want to point that out. Our market currently, the global market is 30 billion for drones. And the serviceable addressable market around 10 billion, and the one market globally for rescue teams, hospitality, and personal use that we have calculated from the rescue teams that are currently operating with high-tech technologies are around 1,000 around the world, 30 teams in Bulgaria alone. But they're not teched out with such technologies, and we want to strive to provide them with such technology that they can integrate. And this is just one sector of rescue teams. There's also mountain resorts that will, of course, help them out. So, thank you. Our competition, the competitive advantage, and business model for the amount of drones we provide with each drone, and the roadmap to the future, and our team, use of funds. Get in touch with us. Thank you very much.
Currently, what is the flight time?
Currently, with the new battery that we have, theoretically speaking, more than 40 minutes. It's currently being produced, and we're yet to test it.
Do you know what kind of weather conditions would the drones be able to handle?
Right.
Wind and all sorts of extreme weather.
Yes, right now with the current platform, we can withstand high wind conditions because of its size and also the way the rods connecting to the motor are positioned. They have a certain angle, and we know that high wind conditions, no problem. Next prototype, by the end of this year, will be water resistant. Will be fully water resistant. That's our goal, to create a drone that can penetrate through extreme weathers.
My question is, have you tested your idea among the safety or rescue teams in Bulgaria already? Or?
We have communicated with the biggest rescue team in Bulgaria, which is in the 7 river lakes. They have totals around here. There's 30 critical rescue operations they have. Also, they told us of a woman which froze, half of her body froze during the winter. And if they didn't get to her fast enough, she could have died. But with our technology, we hope to test it right now in the next few months, shoulder to shoulder with these teams to prove that this drone can really save lives faster. Our idea is to locate the people and with our custom payload to drop them first aid needs. For example, a walkie-talkie, communication device that they can straight up communicate what they need, the people in need, so the rescue teams going towards them are more prepared. Yeah. We have up to 15 kilograms ability to carry this drone. Optimally 5 kilograms this drone can carry a payload for longer periods of time. It can drop from a distance to the ground.
One really short question, maybe you had it in the presentation, but I didn't have the chance to see it. Who is the exact paying client? Is it the rescue teams themselves or someone else?
So it is normally we aim for governmental institutions to buy not one but a multiple set of drones, so the price will go lower. Yeah. We think, and also search and rescue teams which are privately doing their missions. And we will also do their payload compartment based on their needs. And that's how we target the audience. We aim to target now to try to test and see who we want to target.
While you were answering,
yes?
At least I was listening to you,
yeah,
just so you know.
One more question. When do you think you will be ready to go to the market?
Currently, with this version, it can go to the market, providing the customer a possibility to test themselves if they like the drone. With this drone, they're not doing a big financial risk. Normally, such a drone costs 40,000 leva, 20,000 euros. With this drone, we drop half that. They pay half that, and they don't take such a big risk. So they can see if this can actually be implied in their logistics towards saving human lives. And I guess in about end of the year, when we have the next prototype, we can go to market easily. But with this, we just test. We want to go to the teams and ask them, can we, in your next mission, or maybe test it out so we can see if this solution can help you during the summer when there is no rain. But with the next product, during rain conditions, we can operate.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julian.
Thank you. Dragi oftiraši,
This way the trash goes to them instead of them going to the trash. This way also eliminates the human labor that is wasted on it, so they can focus on cleaning every single floor better. And it also eliminates the polluted environment because people are more likely to throw their trash in automized trash bins. The way it works is by using an ultrasound sensor instead of a scale, so it can test the volume instead of the weight. After the needed volume is reached, the infrared sensors tells it to go with the black line. It goes straight. If it touches any other sensor, it goes sideways, and if all 5 sensors are activated at once, it stops. Our goals are to increase the speed and accuracy of trash collecting, create a healthier and waste-ridden environment, and provide a smart technology of waste systems to ease human labor. The technologies we used are for hardware, Arduino for its energy-efficient system, electromotors with reduction for ease of movement, motor drivers to control these motors, and a solar controller for greener energy. For software, we use the Linux server, a PHP to control the robots wirelessly, and an HTML to create a website. The timeline was that we wanted to first think of an idea for the project, then work for a prototype, test the prototype so it's good enough, and finalize it. I'd say we're still on point 2 or 3, so we're still working and testing our product. The price of the product for one single bin is $150, and for a system is $400. For a whole system, for a whole complete system with 4 bins and imaginary systems, it's about $1,000. We aim to sell it to schools, airports, shopping malls, and theme parks. Basically public spaces. It's not for home use or industrial really. We decided to try to compare it to an iTouchless, which is a home system that is powered by a battery instead of a solar system. It has a carbon filter, but it doesn't move. And it also has motion sensors, so it knows when to open, but gives the notifications to each of the cleaners. And this is our website. The way it works is it has administrators that can control most of the bins. It has a profile for the cleaners, so we know which ones are where, because of the floors. Each floor will have its own bins, and it notifies only the cleaners on that floor. And this is our team, the founder Martin Petrov, and this is our team of about 8 members. Thank you for your patience. Any questions?
You have like 5 minutes for questions because his presentation is shorter than others.
It's a really interesting product, but I have one particular question to you because you're targeting closed space.
Yes.
And then you're presenting the solar panels, so how it
Yes, I expected this question. It has a bigger battery than normal, not only because of its abundant amount of items and parts, but also because it lasts a lot longer. So it can work for about a week, and then you can charge it for 2 days if needed, because it's for public spaces that basically aren't open every day of the week.
Okay, another question, because this product is intended to be used in public spaces with a lot of people moving around. How we are going to avoid collisions between people and
We plan to add sensors on the front that can see if there's something in front of it, and if there is, it will stop, wait for them to move, and then it will continue.
You can make a demo.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I completely forgot. Wait a second. Let me see. When one of the bins is full, as seen here, It will in a second see that it's full. And it should go by itself. After it has reached the stop, the secondary bin will go to replace it. And that's when the stop should be at the cleaner. That's when it will be collected by the cleaner, and the second one will be used to fill itself.
What is your next steps?
Next steps is to better the movement systems. We want to add more commands to better the. We want to add more stops. If it sees a stop, it shouldn't stop there. It should stop at its chosen location. It shouldn't stop at any stop, but to the cleaners if there are more than one stops.
Do you plan to expand a little bit the orientation and because if you have in an airport, you can have a dark line on the floor and it will go on the line and miss the placement or whatever. Do you have in plan to use like beacons or Bluetooth or I don't know, something else to orientate?
Not yet. For now, it's only a line that is tracked by infrared sensors.
Okay. You can think on this.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you. One more question. We didn't ask anything about the business. How big in your how big is your idea? I mean,
well, we're only a school, so we don't really have a business yet. These are mainly used for educational purposes right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ready? Yes, ready. Yes. Okay. Hello, my name is Christo and I am part of the Innova One company. We are developing solutions for air and water quality monitoring systems. Our main team consists of 4: Georgi Georgiev, Desislav Bogoev, Ralica Terzieva, and me, Christo Hubenov. The problem to which our main product provides a solution is the lack of accurate and reliable data regarding the drinking quality of water. This is important because, according to the Bulgarian Environmental Agency, large proportions of the water in Bulgaria is contaminated with high levels of nitrates and chlorine residues, which could lead to adverse health effects. To solve this problem, we have developed a water quality monitoring system. Our solution is a package of both hardware and software. The hardware part is built from components by a leading European manufacturer. They ensure the quality and accuracy of our system. The software part is built by ourselves, custom developed system, which is designed for analysis and forecasting of future contaminations. We made this platform because we believe that the benefits of unlocking the power of data through AI are enormous. And by partnering with Sofijska Voda, operated by Veolia, we have already installed a water quality monitoring system at water treatment plant Pancharevo, where, according to Veolia, the water monitoring system will not only help with collecting data and analysis, but can also help for reducing the use of resources by over 30%. More precisely, the system measures the incoming raw water to the treatment plant. And now we would like to present to you a little bit more about our activity as a club from High School Neofit Town Harmonly. And our main goal there is to develop and find and develop the strengths of the students. And at the core of our activity is the question:
what is the best of our students and what they can do with the skills they have learned in the club?
As a result, we have developed a know-how how to improve students' efficiency and develop our innovative products. we are grateful for the support of the America for Bulgaria Foundation, ARC Academy, the Professional Association of Robotics and Automation, and House Group.
And so we come to another question. Why should you invest in our activity?
Our answer is because of the team. Because startups don't stop when they run out of money. Most of the time they stop when the creative energy of their founders runs off.
We are a young and swiftly learning team which has already won a $250,000 level, which is of scholarships, prize funds, projects, and awards.
Our club is one of the few that has all the elements from the educational and entrepreneurial ecosystem, starting from a relationship with the school, with universities, innovative business companies, R&D laboratories, and others.
This is our newest project, Virtual Assistant Test. The future is closer than we think.
Support us and be part of the solution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me ask again, because you said that your software has ability to predict future fluctuation of pollutions based on simple measurement, online measurement like pH or the another one I missed it. Sorry. So how is your software is working actually?
Yeah, we acquired data from Софийска вода. They send us data from their water quality monitoring systems, which they provided so that we can train our neural network to make predictions based on that data. And that really helped us to make it more accurate and efficient. And now we try to feed our data from our sensors so that we can see how it works. So the next steps now are to continue validating how accurate our platform is. First, to ensure that the sensors themselves are feeding accurate data, and second, to ensure that the ML platform is making accurate predictions.
One more question. How do you plan to burn the cash out if you get funded?
Yeah, currently we are mostly continuing to work on research and development. So if we get funded, we are definitely going to continue researching and finalizing our project, improving stuff which can be made better and expanded. As you saw, our team is quite young, so we are currently trying to build a foundational skills and experience for them to build even better products. So for education mostly and development of the system.
Have you thought about how you will approach your future customers? What is the path forward?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really thought about it because we are not strongly focused currently on making profits. Because as I mentioned, we are trying to first build skills, knowledge, and experience so that we can make a more meaningful projects for the society later. But we will probably try to present to them the benefits that our systems have and how they can really be useful for them, how can they utilize it, implement it into their facilities. So that's probably how we'll try to approach them by showing how great we are, if we are. Yeah.
That was good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Сега ще преминем бързо на български. Уважаеми зрители, уважаемо жури, много благодаря за това, че отделихте от времето си да погледнете проектите. Имате време в момента да ги оцените в рамките на около 20 минути и да се върнем обратно тук, за да видим кои са тримата победители в първата кохорта на нашия инкубатор. Връщаме се след 20 минути отново, за да видим кои са победителите. Здравейте отново, приятели! Нашето жури доста разгорещено дискутираше кои проекти да награди. Припомням, в последните 7 месеца имахме 11 проекта, които стартираха в инкубатора. В първата част на инкубатора останаха 9 проекта до края на PARA Robotics Incubator. От тези 9 инкубатора днес ще наградим 3 от тях. Но преди това искам да благодаря на нашите спонсори Америка за България, Фондация за капиталови инвестиции към Българска банка за развитие, FESTO, Schneider Electric, FANUC България и Vangavis, както и всички партньори, като Резонатор, София Тех Парк, АББ, Civico, Giga Innovation Valley, Clubhouse, които и още много други, които ни помогнаха в тази първа кохорта. По времето на тези 2 дни имахте възможност да чуете теми, свързани с индустрията и образованието. Говорихме си за изкуствен интелект, говорихме си за стратегия за образованието, говорихме какво очаква поколението Z от индустрията и обратното видяхме как да позиционираме България на картата на роботиката. И днес, в своя край, ще имате възможност да видите 3 проекта от инкубатора, които получават наградите. Както казах, доста разгорещена бе дискусията на журито. Започваме с първата награда. От името на PARA ние даваме една награда и тази награда отива при RoboWeeder. Момчета, скарайте, елате за снимка.
Така, окей ли? Така.
Благодаря ви.
Благодарим ни много.
Йонко.
Разбира се. Аз все пак да кажа, от журито избирахме на 3 критерия. На първо място прогрес в инкубатора, на второ място приложимост и на трето място презентация. 1000 лева първа награда за RoboWeeder. И сега нашите партньори от Америка за България и от FANUC България ще кажат техните награди по 1000 лева за кого отиват.
Преди това искам да кажа, че всички вие, независимо дали сте наградени или не сте наградени, вече станахте част от семейството на PARA.
Добре дошли!
И от сега нататък имате... От сега нататък, влизайки в нашата екосистема, вие ще имате достъп до нашите ресурси и контакти, така че да просперирате с вашите проекти или дори да започнете нови такива, да се възползвате от нашите инструменти и контакти.
И нашите знания как се прави пивот.
Точно така. Благодаря ти, Йонко. Втората награда е от името на Фондация Америка за България и давам им думата на Виолета, която ще сподели кой е той.
Здравейте! Избрахме наградата на Фондация Америка за България да отиде при екип Риск Граф. Да, точно това. И сега ще ви кажа защо. Защото освен трите критерия, които Йонко сподели, вие сте подходили като едни истински предприемачи, стартирали сте с една идея, след което сте я променили, намерили сте проблем реален на бизнеса и сте се фокусирали върху неговото решаване. И отделно от това, стратегически приоритет на Фондация Америка за България е да работи за насърчаване на предприемаческия дух и да подкрепя програми, които развиват този дух в ученици, така че безапелационно фаворит за наградата на Фондация Америка за България сте вие и ви желаем успех.
Заснете се. Поздравления! Още веднъж, нека да видим третата награда от името на FANUC България. Дам думата на Христо Гилищаров, управител на FANUC България.
Благодаря. Здравейте, колеги! Малко високопарно звучи, но смятам, че ние сме вече колеги. И така, наградата отива при CleanBolt.
Поздравления!
Честито. Нашите критерии за вашия избор са това, че създадахте един продукт, който, смея да твърдя, е така уникален за продукт, който едно училище и тъй като нашата основна задача на ПАРА, пък и тази идея да споделяме в FANUC, да подкрепяме образованието и такива младежи, които опитват се да направят нещо ново и иновативно. Благодаря ви.
Благодаря.
Благодаря ви. Благодаря много, Христо. С това приключва първата част на PARA Robotics Incubator. Истината е, че ще има и втора. Тя ще бъде следващата година. Скоро ще отворим и прозореца за кандидатстване. Ако имате интереси в сферата на роботиката, искате да разработите платформа, свързана с изкуствен интелект, искате да създадете следващият робо-стартъп, или най-малкото да се пробвате да създадете ваш проект, свързан с инженерството, автоматизацията, то свържете се с PARA и съвсем скоро ще можете да кандидатствате за PARA Robotics Incubator номер 2. До скоро! Благодаря много!
Преди 20 години Пловдив стана нашия дом. Хареса ни заради талантливите хора, необятния потенциал за развитие и защото е зелен. А ние просто обожаваме зеленото. Започнахме с малко производствено хале и 150 силно мотивирани служители. Днес нашето семейство е 10 пъти по-голямо. Заедно създаваме над 40 милиона продукта годишно, а халето заменихме с голям, високотехнологичен завод. Ежедневно защитаваме хората в 90 страни по целия свят, защото нашите продукти са там, в домовете им. В Schneider Electric не спираме да инвестираме в технология и автоматизация. Над 65% от процесите ни са изцяло автоматизирани и целим да повишаваме този процент. Но докато се усъвършенстваме технологично, никога не забравяме кое е най-важното – нашите хора. Всъщност, всички хора. В Schneider сме енергийни оптимисти и вярваме, че достъпът до енергия е изначално право на всеки човек, защото енергията е живот. А Schneider съществува, за да гарантира, че животът никога не спира.
In collaboration with our other development centers across Europe, we are developing exciting work in the heart of Sofia.
Our team develops software for the bots that run in our highly automated warehouses. Our day-to-day work is developing the software, giving it for an actual test on the bots.
In Ocado Technology we have amazing culture. We are free to experiment, to try new things. We have a no blaming culture, so we try to get most knowledge that we can from our mistakes.
What excites most our employees is the fact that they are able to solve really difficult and challenging problems working on a cutting-edge technology.
I work with amazing people, some of the best engineers I ever met. The guys are really amazing. They are open, honest. You can always count on them that they will check your genius ideas.
Инкубаторът – сърцето на София Тех Парк. Домът на всяка нова компания, която иска да е не просто в крачка с новите технологии, но и на една крачка от тях. Да, на метри от инкубатора е лабораторният комплекс, със своите 11 високотехнологични лаборатории и последно поколение петаскейл суперкомпютър, един от 8-те в Европа. И всяка една от компаниите в инкубатора има под ръка цялата тази мощ на науката, учените и технологиите. Самият инкубатор зад мен предлага всичко, от което една компания или дори само един фрилансър би имал нужда. Прекрасно офис пространство, зали за срещи и конференции, средата, както и постоянния контакт с други будни умове, които също преследват своите мечти. Има дори и парк, в който можете на открито, сред природата, да разнообразите работния си ден. Но инкубатора не е само това, което може да се види и пипне. Стартиращите компании имат достъп до разнообразни акселераторски програми, както и до всички необходими съвети и помощ от екипа на София Тех Парк. Кой фонд би бил подходящ за вашия бизнес, коя програма е отворена за кандидатстване, как да направите колаборация с лабораторията, подходяща за вашия ресърч или прототип. Експертите на София Тех Парк са на разположение на всеки с опита и експертизата си. Тук в инкубатора творят компании с различен профил. От спорттек, каквато сме ние от Барин Спортс, през финтек, фултек и автомобилната индустрия. До стартиращи компании в IT сектора, създаващи така наречените дигитални двойници. Други създават тук съоръжения, задвижващи се от кинетичната енергия на децата. Част от нашата общност са и клъстерни организации, фонд и акселератори. Общото между тях е създаването на висока добавена стойност в сферата на технологиите и иновациите, както и подобряване на българската предприемаческа екосистема като цяло. В Growworking имаме възможност да общуваме, да споделяме повече, както и да работим или да си почиваме. Дава ни знания, опит, контакти и понякога приятелства. Най-вече среда. Growworking е споделеното работно пространство на София Тех Парк. Създадено специално за новатори, стартъп компании, фрилансери, както и екипите на корпоративния бизнес, където заедно всички могат да работят в една наистина творческа среда. Дори могат да идват с децата си. Clubhouse е дигиталното студио на София Тех Парк, ядрото на инкубатора, където се зараждат иновативни идеи, концепции, партньорства и проекти. Clubhouse е домът на вече 14 клуба по интереси, които организират регулярни месечни видеоиздания, както и подкаст. Пространството е подходящо за различен формат онлайн и хибридни събития. Независимо дали развивате хай-тек джаджи, които подобряват спортните постижения и предпазват от травми, или пък искате да създадете новия Facebook, или може би вашата компания е бъдещия биоинженерен гигант на Европа, то едно е сигурно. Най-доброто място за старт на това приключение е София Тех Парк. Заповядайте, за да създаваме бъдещето заедно.